We are very honored to have as our special guest and keynote speaker today the gentleman who lived through the experience that I described very briefly a few moments ago, Mr. Travis Walton, who's come all the way from Arizona to be with us. By way of introducing the motion picture Fire in the Sky, Travis is going to give us a brief background on the making of it. And then we're going to take a 1-hour break after the movie, and then Travis will give a full lecture. And then the part that I enjoy the most, not that his lecture isn't outstanding, which it is, but the question and answer sessions that are always so outstanding from audience questions after he talks. So you want to start formulating those questions, right, Travis?
Yeah.
And without any further ado, here's Travis to introduce Fire in the Sky.
Thank you. It's great to be here in Del Rio. I really enjoy my visit here in Texas. How many people have, raise your hand if you've seen the movie before? Quite a few of you. I think that probably most of you realize that Hollywood did not stick strictly to what happened. But you know, in spite of that, I think that the movie did have a good effect in that it really increased people's willingness to take a look at the facts. And that was something, you know, that I put in my first book, which came out before the movie was ever made, that, you know, all I'd really ask is that, you know, before anybody passed judgment on what happened, that they first take a look at the evidence, you know. And there's many things in the movie that are simplifications that, you know, I really don't have any problem with, because you're taking something that's a little over 90 minutes and you're trying to tell a story that spans years. So it really is necessary to simplify it and abbreviate things in ways that don't alter the fundamental message. However, the things aboard the craft are where they got the farthest astray from what really happened. But even in the case of that, there are certain things that actually, whether it was intentional or not, wound up giving the audience a better idea of what it was like for me to live through that at that time. Because at the time, you know, it was extremely horrific, you know? And so it took me a lot of years to separate the fear that I was experiencing from analyzing what their actual intentions were. And it's only in the last few years that I've come to realize that, you know, their intention probably had nothing to do with trying to torment me or just take me aboard to do experiments on me. I really do think that because my actions in approaching that craft so suddenly caused an accident to happen, that just by being that close to something that close to the ground while it was powering up caused this energy discharge, that it wasn't even actually a beam that was being fired, that it was more like a spark jumping, you know, and that I was accidentally, you know, hurt or killed, and that they were just, you know, taking me aboard in order to revive me. Something that could not have been done by the rest of the logging crew, because none of them knew CPR, and the nearest hospital was over an hour away. So, although there is some fictional departures there, you know, at the time it really did sum up the way I felt. I have been pursuing the idea of having a remake of the movie to get them to, you know, to not just stick closer to the facts, but to bring to the world the interpretation that I have now. You know, it took me a lot of thinking to try to separate the fear that I experienced from what was really happening there. So I think that's an important message. And I'm scheduled to speak before a group in Hollywood, people who are, in the movie industry. And my intention is to try to get them to steer away from this idea of always returning to the cliche that aliens are invaders or some kind of horrific monster. That these are just, very advanced civilizations from very far away, very different from us, but, it's not like they have to give up anything, because there's a whole rich range of possibilities to build movies around if they will just tell it more like it really is than that old, horror story sort of thing. So I've been trying to get a remake of Fire in the Sky, and I would like to encourage people to email me, traviswalton.com, through my website, and just express the desire, if you feel this, that you would like to see a remake of the movie that would stick more to how it really happened. And I've already had, hundreds of such emails come to me spontaneously. And so I plan on binding all these together and taking them into the studio to show them that there is a tremendous demand out there for a remake and for something that sticks closer to the real story. So I'll just leave you with the movie, and hope you come to my lecture, and we'll get into a lot more about what really happened at that time. Thank you very much.